Welcome to episode 2 of the Philadelphia Phillies retro franchise here on Out of the Park Baseball 2023. So we come into today, Tuesday, September 8th, 2015, and we're terrible, 45 and 93. We're going to do worse than the Phillies did in real life that year. Back when September call-ups were like they used to be, I figured out my own question when it came to the rookie draft. They have the roster from, or sorry, not the roster, the order from last season. You see right there. Arizona is going to get the first pick, and remember there was all the stuff with Dansby Swanson in real life that year, and we have the 9th pick. So then we'll have the first pick in the next draft, which I will correct the date for. We got a game here against Atlanta at home, and it's a 12-4 loss. Jeff Francoeur is not happy. Jeff, I don't think it really matters too much here in September, my man. 7-5 loss. In real life, Francoeur went to the Marlins after the Phillies. We're just trying to finish up the season here. You see guys are starting to struggle down the home stretch. Our top guy here is Odubel Herrera, who is an above-average hitter right now. Only really him and Cesar are. It said Cesar was green, right? Now he's not, so that was a little weird. But a few guys are doing a little better. Rhys Hoskins, he's gotten better since he's come up. 7 home runs already in 45 games. We've also seen improvement from Maikel Franco. Let's see if we can just keep on keeping on here. A loss and a loss once again. We got Aaron Nola here, Aaron Harang. Same guys, game's about to save. So I'm going to go with a quick cut, bring it to the last game of the season. It'll be against Miami. Maybe we play it, maybe we don't. Let's see. 2015 season is over. And your winners of the World Series are the Detroit Tigers. So, hey, congratulations to one Cole Hamels. Getting another ring under his belt, one with the Phils, and now one here with the Tigers. But speaking of the Phillies, as we go into this offseason, let's see what we did here with stats, what we got for our guys. So ERA leader was Stephan Gonzalez. He had a fine season for us. I'm not going to complain about that. I don't see him as a long-term option at starter, though. Not good stuff, not good movement, bad control. I don't see it long-term. Ken Giles, he did fine for us. Alex Burnett did fine for us. Severino Gonzalez completely overplayed how good he is. Aaron Nola, very happy with his rookie season. Just need him to get that movement up a little bit. But other than that, incredibly happy with what he's doing. Let's switch it to Sierra for what we want to look at. Keep going down. Sean Armstrong did fine. Gilbert, Loecky both did okay. And then pretty much anything after Diekman was not that good. Genmar Gomez, he was lucky this year. His ERA is better than he really was. You see that BABIP at a 2.63. Guys like Colin Clevin we knew were bad. Eli, I picked him up off waivers. Araujo is supposed to be a lefty guy. I'd like to see his splits potentially. 2015 pitching splits versus left. Wow, he was terrible. Over Araujo. So that's really it for pitchers. Luis Garcia had a good year. I'm cool with that. Top winning pitcher for us was Aaron Nola with a negative .9 WAR for Genmar Gomez. Which stinks. I really liked Genmar Gomez when he was a Philly. 11 triples for Freddie Galvis. Jeez. Maikel Franco, he led the team with 20 home runs. He came on late this year. Nick Castellanos, same sort of thing. Gave him a ring, which was cool. He won Player of the Week one of these weeks. And hey, if he can fill out that 80 contact, oh my goodness, he could be really freaking good for us. Cam Rupp did not do good, but it was at the point with Ruiz where Ruiz wasn't hitting either. And his catching is just terrible behind the plate. I'm going to have to cut Ruiz, I think, because he's not going to go down and no one's going to want him. When it comes to OPS, Cesar Hernandez, 48 games starting. He did good in those. Odubel Herrera, probably our best overall hitter. Actually, definitely our best overall hitter. Although you could argue Franco with the home runs. Odubel also did swipe 24 bags with a 77% stolen base rate, which is pretty solid. You want to stay over that 75 mark. Hit 299 this year. WRC plus of 110. We'll look at it like that. Grady Sizemore was a fine left-handed bat off the bench. Rhys Hoskins, his rookie season, gave us some pop. Slowed down a little bit, but he had like 7 through 40-something games. Maikel Franco already talked about. Nick Castellanos talked about. Freddie Galvis started the year well, struggled. Ben Revere just never got off the ground this year. Roman Quinn is not good. He can just steal bags. Ben Revere did do that well, at least. Stole 45 bases, only caught 12 times. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Jeff Francoeur was not good. Cody Ashley was not good. Andres Blanco. Nick Williams didn't really have too many at-bats. Efrain Navarro was disappointing. Yeah, the team's terrible. We actually did have a pretty good end of the year, though. If I look at schedule, September, you see there's more green in there than we're used to. If I check, is it maybe info? Yes, it is. Yeah, we went 11-15, which was our second best month behind April. In our final 10 games, we went 6-4. So I'll take that. When it came to on the road compared to at home, we were slightly better at home, and we weren't terrible in one-run games either, which is cool, I guess. When it comes to front office personnel, everyone is signed, but that doesn't mean everyone stays. We definitely need to get a scouting director and look at all the people who want to join us. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the top guy who does highly favor tools. I favor tools. So it's like, do I want to go with the highly or just the normal favorability of tools? I'm going to go with the highly favors tools for this guy, Marty Decker. Give him a 5-year deal. And does anyone want to be our manager? Go manager. Free agent personnel. Freddie Gonzalez is here. He's a good rep. Who's he working with now? Is he still with Baltimore, maybe? He might be with Baltimore. Yeah, so we'll check reputation immediately. Free agent personnel, I guess. So the only one really there that is of any value, I guess, would be Freddie Gonzalez of managers. I'm okay. I might just roll with Ryan Sandberg for another year. In real life, he quit. He decided to take his ball and go home. I think the manager market and the coaching market will get better in a few seasons. If I just look at all coaches, is it any good at all? Yeah, no. So we're just going to stick with the staff we got. And then I'll do salary arbitration. I'll keep the guys I'm going to keep. I'll show you who I'm going to let go. I'll show you if there's any big contracts. And I'll show you the awards, and we'll get into free agency. Look at everyone that we are not keeping. So you see everyone here. They are gone, except for some of these guys. They'll probably stay. And then award season. Yeah. Here are the Gold Glovers. Nelson Cruz won one in right field. Okay. Here it is in the National League. Andrelton Simmons still on the Braves. Wow, it feels like forever since he was on the Braves. He had one real solid offensive season with them. Travis Wood gets it over Familia, Steven Matz, and Max Foodie. So that's the first one with a little bit of competition. Silver Sluggers. I'm going to make a bold statement and say we're not getting one. Well, won't you? Look at that. I am a genius. Carlos Correa wins Rookie of the Year. Then Jung Gang wins Rookie of the Year. And Noah Syndergaard, who gets more first place votes by 6, doesn't get it? Whoa. That's crazy. That means that Gang got everyone's, pretty much all the other second places. Brad Ausmus, he wins Manager of the Year. Matt Williams, he's not real, is he? I do not remember a Matt Williams Dusty Baker was their coach at the time, manager at the time, wasn't he? Corey Kluber wins Cy Young. I believe he might have won it that year in real life with Stroman, who had an awesome season. Again, third place. Verlander, he'll be there to stay. And then Noah Syndergaard wins Cy Young with Jose Fernandez. Clayton Kershaw backing him up. Of course, Fernandez is hurt. It's Jose Fernandez, man. Nelson Cruz, he wins the MVP over Mike Trout and Josh Donaldson. And big shocker, Bryce Harper, after just destroying the ball like he did in real life. Look, we have a head scout now. Wins it in the National League, putting up a ridiculous 54 home runs with a .323 batting average. Let's go to free agency. We got to put LeBrant back onto the team. If we sim forward here, the sim engine in this game is so fast. And I don't know why, but it's only for like historical stuff. It's super freaking fast. And I mean, hey, I'll take it. I'm not complaining at all. It is awesome. Navarro was given a 1-year deal, so I guess we did keep him by accident. Diekman, who wasn't negotiating with us, and same with Caesar, they got $900,000 and $800,000 respectively. Welcome to free agency. Nelson Cruz, he's a free agent. We're not going to go for some of the bigger guys. Here are the fake guys. Like this guy could be interesting. Only wants 5.6. Miyamoto, Ogawa, Reynoso, Yoon, Kim, Yamasaki, Takamoto, Choi, Takamoto, and Tony Cruz. You can tell I watch Pride FC with those names. Yeah, I'll do the free agency. I'll show you who we sign and or who we're in negotiations with, and I'll be back during free agency. And I think one thing the Phillies lacked during this time when they were rebuilding was aggressiveness to get better. It was a perpetual rebuild until they signed Bryce Harper, essentially. They just wanted to let guys develop, sign a veteran here or there. And they kind of tried a little bit with Carlos Santana, but obviously that did not work out for the Phillies. And that's one thing the Phillies need to do, and that's one thing I'm doing. I am trying to get this team better. 56 and 106 is not acceptable. That is rock bottom. So we made some overtures to all sorts of type of players. C.J. Wilson, he can still go a little bit. I forgot he existed, to be honest. When I first saw his name, I'm like, oh my God, C.J. Wilson, the former Ranger. He was like their number one guy for a few years. Checking back, yeah, man, 2009 he was a reliever, and then he moved to a starter's role. He was pretty solid, man. 3-year cheap deal with a vesting option if he gets 160 innings in the second year. David Murphy, he can still hit and play the corner outfield positions. Jed Lowry, I'll explain this one in a minute, backup infielder. Jay Bruce, he adds pop in right field. Charlie Morton, he's a guy who's 32 years old. He's a potential trade piece or a guy we can re-sign. 1 year, $2.6 million to him. Rick Porcello, only 26 years old. But again, we're trying to be aggressive. We're not trying to sign old heads either to get good. We're trying to sign guys who are still young enough to where they can hit their prime. Steve Cishek, he had a disappointing year last year. We're trying to get him, though, for 2 years, $4 million a year. Tyler Chatwood, I think this guy can be good with what he's got. In real life, he was a pretty highly touted prospect who didn't work out for the Rockies. I think I can make this work, though, with him, potentially. There's some ratings I like. It's a cheap deal. Wilson Contreras, for some reason, is a free agent. He's going to be our catcher, I think, for the first for 1 year, and then we're moving him, and we got to find a better catcher. If I can find a better catcher, I'll play him in a corner outfield position. Leonardo Rivas, he's a guy that we can develop. Mauricio Lovera, 19 years old, but he's pretty solid. I think he can play. Danil Reyes, he's a developmental guy. Jordan Romano, 22 years old, he can play. Fernando Romero, 20 years old, I don't know why he was let go. He can play. If he can develop that fastball, you have a legitimate fifth starter right there. Now, we did make one big trade, but one thing I do want to look at is the potential for a catcher who can actually catch. Jonathan Lucroy, he's only 29. Brian McCann, no. Kurt Suzuki. I mean, it's interesting. Kurt Suzuki was in the Athletics organization. I don't believe he was ever in the Phillies. It's Josh Donaldson who I'm getting him confused with, because I know they were both in the Athletics organization around the same time, and we had Donaldson and traded into the Athletics. But what am I talking about with a trade? Well, we made a big one, as we traded the Chicago White Sox and got Chris Sale, the Condor. Chris Sale. We're going to give him an extension if we can. 7 years. He's still young. A player opt-out. I mean, if I can get him $1 million cheaper, he's being a jerk about it. How about $200,000? You can give up, what is it, $800,000? Oh, darn it. Okay, we're gonna sign him. We're gonna extend Chris Sale. Do not worry about it. We gave up Cesar Hernandez, Nick Fanti, Ken Giles, Zach Eflin, and J.P. Crawford. The hardest two guys to get rid of for me were definitely Giles and Hernandez. But the reason I got rid of Hernandez is because of how clustered we are here. And I thought that we could get value for someone. So it was either going to be Maikel Franco, Freddie Galvis, or Hernandez. Hernandez is who they wanted. We gave him Hernandez. We still have Cody Ashe as a potential backup third baseman. And as I said earlier, Jed Lowry is going to be coming in. He's going to be a backup infielder. Odubel Herrera can also double as a backup infielder. So it's going to be Nick Castellanos at second. It's going to be Maikel Franco at third. Franco might not work out, though. I mean, he's not developing how I want. So Jed Lowry could move to third in his place if he really struggles, or we could make a move for someone. I don't want to do it right now on your eBay. It could be interesting. But that's what I'm looking at for that position. David Freese is interesting as well. But that's what we're going to go with for now. Pedro Alvarez, he was the one who fielded the ball when the cover got hit off of it. That was cool. That's what we're going with. I'll let you know if we make any other moves, big moves, decisions to try to get this team better. We're trying to improve this team. I'll see you back at the first-year player draft on the 15th. Time for the first-year player draft, but if you can see right here, we did make a move as we traded Roman Quinn straight up for Robinson Chirinos from the Miami Marlins. He was with the Rangers and the Marlins. Now he's here with us in Philly. But first-year player draft. Now we have the first overall pick. Now, I was under the impression that we would have the 9th pick. Let me check if Dansby Swanson is there. So, yeah, Swanson is. Okay, so this would be the 2016 draft that would have happened in July. So then I guess I'll move the draft after the next season. After the season that's happening, I'm going to move the draft. Okay, sounds good. Now, we have our share of players here that we're going to be able to pick who we want. I mean, man, there are some dogs here, man. Just looking at this. I mean, Vladdy, of course. Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Walker Buehler, who did come up fast, which does make him interesting. We should look at what our head scout likes. Yeah, okay, so we have it head scout wise, and I think it's got to either be Vladdy. Whoa. It's either got to be Vladdy, Burns, Bieber, or Bichette. And Bichette does fill a need at shortstop. He could probably be up next season. When did he come up in real life? 2019. Obviously, guys are going to come up earlier because that's just how the game rolls. I did disable. I believe I disabled draft class development. Yeah. So that's just what they come in as. Vladdy, man, I mean, he is so good. So good. Bo Bichette, though, I mean, man, this is a tough choice. And then there's guys like Burns, who are just freaking monsters. I'm going to have to go with Corbin Burns, man. Because, I mean, that control is going to be up there. But the stuff, the movement, he only wants to slot. Bieber's not going to get much better than he is right now. Let's go Corbin Burns here. Recommended slot. We'll offer it to him. Go to the second round, or second pick, I should say. Sung Hwan Wu is here. David Bender. Bobby Dahlbeck. We have the first pick of the second round. Sam Huff, who is a catcher, who's in the Rangers organization. Matt Bush again. Wasn't he already picked? I'm saying like 10 years before. Mitchell White, who's already ready to go up. Might just have to pick him. Really just beef up this team. AJ Puck was ready to come up very early. I do remember that. He just is really lacking control. Matt Manning, I'm going to have to say no. Vince Fernandez, no. It's a tough choice. It is definitely a tough choice. Again, I'm going to probably go with, well, I was going to say White or Dahlbeck, but they both have stuff holding them down. Same thing with Puck. I don't really want to go too much further than here. Use Michael Rucker. Rucker. Bender. Or Bednar, I should say. My mistake. I mean, Dahlbeck's good, but, I mean, I just don't think we need another bad fielding infielder. Because we're pretty good in that department. We'll go with Mitchell White. Yeah, I think that's the move. Mitchell White will meet his demand. And this will be the last pick I show probably on screen. Actually, no, that was way too easy of a pick. Dave Bednar. Do we go with Dahlbeck now? I mean, this is way easier than it should be, I feel like. But yeah, Dahlbeck makes a lot of sense. I mean, I was considering taking him already. Brad Keller, he came up pretty soon after he was picked. Miguel Gamboa. See this guy right here, Kyle Hart. Ryan January. Wonder what month he was born in. I would say he was born in May. That's weird. No, it's not. Can't control your last name when you're born. Will Benson. We'll pick him. Dogs barking in the background. You know it's a good draft when the dog's barking in the background. Brad Keller's going to be our next pick. And I'll do the rest off. Now, or should I say spring training? Yes, I should. I'm going to clear game strategies in a second, but we did make one more pretty large move. I'm going to have to edit the lineup up a lot. Ben Zobrist. He's a Philadelphia Philly now. We got him signed on for 2 years, $20 million with a team option after this season with a $1 million buyout. I'm going to have to edit up this lineup a lot. And I'm going to really worry about it after spring training. Where's Reese? There he is. But yeah, we are a lot better, a lot better than we were coming into this season. The Iron Pigs are now in Allentown. That's interesting. Burns is down. He will probably be up by the end of the season. Dahlbeck will probably be up maybe next season. Preseason predictions. Generating them. I'm going to go to opening day with today's episode. I'll show you the opening day rosters, and then we'll leave. And I want to try to do all of next season in the next episode. That's my plan, at least. Safeco Field, that's a little outdated. It's T-Mobile Park, I want to say now, right? Red Sox projected, Tigers, Astros. Phillies 66 wins, which would be a 10-win uptick for us. Let's go to opening day. I'll show you the updated predictions, preseason predictions, I believe they're called. Yep, and the minor league system. Get out of here. The opening day roster. One thing I am doing is I'm trying to get Melvin Upton here to be a backup outfielder, and I'll tell you why in a second. So it's Chris Sale, Aaron Nola, C.J. Wilson, Charlie Morton, and Rick Porcello as the starting five. Then Steve Cishek, Suter McCullen, Jake Diekman, Sean Armstrong, Robert Tassin. He's a movement guy. That's all he really adds. Same thing with Luis Garcia, but he does have extreme ground ball. Steven Gonzalez, because we needed another lefty, and Artie Lewicki as a long reliever. There's guys who can come up like immediately. I don't want to call up all the guys who I literally just drafted. The guy who could come up and see sometimes Adebray Ramos, Oliveira, he could as well sometime this year. And those are the names that come to mind immediately and that I see. Tyler Chatwood for sure could, especially because they gave him $950,000. Then when it comes to hitting, this one was a lot harder. And this is very subject to change, especially because you'll see down in the minor leagues is Maikel Franco, who led the team in home runs last year, was one of our better hitters, but man, he has regressed. And he's just, his only thing he's really got is some pop. And he can't play anything else other than third base or first base, and that's just not that valuable. It's Robinson Chirinos at catcher with Cam Rupp backing him up. Rhys Hoskins at first base. Ben Zobrist at second base. Backing him up is Dan Stankus something. He could be moved. He's just a good depth guy to have. Then Nick Castellanos at third base. At shortstop, Freddie Galvis backing up third and short. Jed Lowry, he's a fine backup infielder. Wilson Contreras, he's going to be our starting left fielder. Then Odubel Herrera in center. And it'll be David Murphy in right. And backing them up in the outfield, at least to start, will be Aaron Altair. But I'm trying to get B.J. Upton in here. Melvin Upton. I don't know if he ever officially changed his name to B.J. Upton originally. I know it was B.J. Upton, then a big thing that he's like, now I'm Melvin Upton, when he went to San Diego and played with Justin. So that's what we got. That's what we're rolling with for this season. Like I said, I plan to do all of this season, all the 2016 season in the next episode. So stay tuned and watch out for that. Hopefully I can get it out. I'm trying to do an episode a day right now, so let's see if I can keep it going.